Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Academy Talk. This used to be a radio show, and we converted. No?
I'm not
ready
on.
yet? You're not on?
Can you stop for a second?
Could you stop it?
What happened here?
See, because once we make that announcement, this is how we lose.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, get ready.
Okay, tell me when. Hi everybody, welcome to Academy Talk. This was a radio show for quite a few years on a few different stations throughout Blog Talk, and we recently converted over into a live version of this. So we should be coming to you from Instagram, Facebook Live, and we'll be putting this up on YouTube. So I'm Ivy Rivera, psychic medium, coming to you from the Ivy League Psychic Academy. I'm here with Christina Del Rey, Christina Pugliarsi, astrologer and tarot reader. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So this is exciting. Christina teaches here at the Academy tarot and astrology. And I pester her on a weekly basis for information that I need to have to make clear decisions, whether it be work or relationship or my personal life, I mean, just all kinds of things. So I've had countless charts done by Christina here, all of them superb, very, very helpful. And we brought her on tonight to help break down for you guys what's going on with you in 2018. Okay, so last week's show, we talked about prosperity for this upcoming year in terms of you owning it. Manifestation, law of attraction, things like that. Show's archived. You can go back and watch if you didn't get to see it already. We also took your questions throughout the hour. This week, Christina can help fill in the blanks for you. So even if you're not heavily into astrology, she might ask you like your birth date or what your sign is, right? And then she will be basing it off of some of that information. We are taking questions. If you want some privacy on your question, you can text it into me. 602-1391, area code 716. Sue, can you put that above? Can you type that in there?
1391?
Yeah, 716-602-1391. Or if you guys are on the feed in Instagram or Facebook, you can just put your questions in the comments. We're going to get to as many as we can. So, Christina, I know that you wanted to talk about some planetary shifts that are going on before we start breaking down. Tonight we'll be breaking down every astrological sign and what's going on with you for the year. So stay watching for the whole show. But right now she's going to break down, what is it exactly?
Some energy shifts, some planets that have shifted, signs, and collectively we'll feel this as a whole. So for 2018, Saturn has moved into, just late December, he moved into Capricorn. And Saturn is like the Lord of Karma. And kind of like what you were just talking about, owning it. It's going to make you, Saturn and Capricorn, it's very strong placement, so it's going to make you responsible.
Okay.
So people are really going to have to face up to the things that they have been doing so far.
We love doing that.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
So if you have been, living with integrity, if you've been honest, then things will continue and you'll reap the benefits of that. But if you haven't been doing your Saturn lessons, if you haven't been living up to, doing the things that you should, that's when it's going to catch up with you.
Like karma.
Exactly. And Saturn is the planet of karma, so it will catch up with you eventually if you don't, and it will force you to learn your lessons, and it won't be easy. So that's going to be a big shift. And actually, a lot of people might have, like December 20th, I think, it moved. That might have been a very, kind of like a slap in the face right around that time for some people. They might have gotten a little shocked, like, oh, I actually have to be responsible now.
Okay.
So that's one shift that we're going to look into for 2018, and you can't escape that. You just can't.
Okay.
And the next shift we're talking about is Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of shock. It's the planet of rebellion. And Uranus likes to push us into the future, and sometimes we don't like to be pushed into the future because it's uncomfortable, it's change.
People don't like change.
No,
right.
no. And sometimes it doesn't feel so good at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
However, Uranus is going to move into Taurus. So we're going to have to look at what we've been putting our energy into and what we're building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's Taurus is all about resources and security, money, finance, but it might be a surprise for some people. And I know collectively, at first, like money institutions, stock market, things like that might fluctuate a little bit more, might be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So some of that is going to come, but overall, we'll be building towards something we can benefit from in years to come.
It's supposed to be your prosperity. So there are going to be changes that are required in order to allow people the opportunity to have that.
And Uranus is about technology and also the occult. So if you're looking to make money in that direction, either technology or this happens in May, so that's a good direction to go into.
No kidding.
And Uranus too, like for some people it will be very shocking depending on their charts, but it kicks you out of the path you're in if you're not in the right one.
Okay.
So there's no choice in the matter. And then we had Jupiter and Scorpio also moved to, Jupiter also moved into Scorpio. It'll be there until November. And this is going to have themes. This is where you're hearing a lot about the sexual misconduct of stars going on right now.
Oh, okay.
And Saturn is making them be responsible for it. But we're going to hear more themes about such as sexual misconduct in the workplace, being accountable for your actions. And also there's going to be a lot of themes around emotional bonding and shared resources, shared finances, things like that. So those are the planetary energies that we're going to see in 2018. We do have eclipses this year. We have a full year.
Eclipses. Okay, well, let's I took your class at the academy. I think it was a 6-week course, right? And we covered the basics. And we have that coming up again. I'll give you guys dates in a minute, and we'll post in the comments her ads for that. But I was a little shocked that eclipses can cause, the only thing I had ever really heard much about was retrograde. Oh, retrograde this and that, and it causes chaos. But eclipses, as well as moon eclipses, are a big deal.
Yeah, we have lunar eclipse, which is, moon, and then we have solar eclipse, which is the sun. So lunar eclipses are typically endings.
Okay.
Solar eclipses are new beginnings. And depending upon where it falls in your chart, you may or may not feel it. But if it falls on a personal planet, you're definitely going to feel that energy.
Okay.
Eclipses are a little bit like Uranus, where they're a shock, a surprise.
Yes.
They're a wild card. You don't know what's going to happen. You're like, whoa, what happened? What just happened? But it always propels you into the future. And whatever happens on an eclipse usually happens permanently. You don't usually go back.
Right.
So it usually
it's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there a lot of birth and death during that time?
Sometimes
eclipses.
A lot of times, like pets pass.
Pets are pass. I noticed a pattern on the last one.
Yes.
A lot of people lost.
It thrusts us forward. It's a release. It's a move.
Okay, so when are these?
No, these are. We have one in January 31st, which happens to be right on my sun. So it's going to be interesting. Yes, thank you. We have a solar eclipse in Aquarius in February, and then we have a solar eclipse in July in Cancer. We have a lunar eclipse the end of July, in Aquarius, and a solar eclipse again in August, and then we're done for the year.
Okay. So. That's not bad.
We have 5. So.
That's not bad. Okay.
We'll see.
All right. So these are the major shifts that are going to affect pretty much everybody for the year of 2018. Okay, so they could learn how to work with that, what exactly that's going to mean for them. And then I know we wanted to take some questions before we start breaking down every astrological sign. And we're probably going to take 2 signs at a time. And the first one is Aries, correct?
Yes.
Aries is number 1. Okay, so we'll take a couple questions. Do we have anything coming through over here before I start getting over here to text? Okay, so let's take a look.
Well, I have one from Debbie. Wants to know, is there a new job for me in 2018?
And I can't ask sign, right? Because that's something.
Well, we can ask her, what is, so she needs to give, her birthday or her sun?
Or sign.
Her sun's sign. So yeah, if you want to just ask her that, and then when that answer comes through, then we can get back over here.
One thing I want to say too while we're waiting is that if you know your rising sign, a lot of times these are more accurate for your rising sign than your actual sun sign. You should always check both when you're looking at your horoscope, like in the paper or online.
Okay.
But you know, if you know your rising sign, that always is very helpful.
Yeah, I definitely learned that from your class. I always check both. Yeah, very, very accurate. Okay, so we have one coming through over here from a 361 number. She says, hi, Ivy and Christina. Any chance that I will be blessed with a relationship? Oh, it's not a she, it's a Jason. Okay, so Jason wants to know, will he be blessed this year with a relationship? And he very quickly just got back to me and sent me his digits here on his birthday. So February 27th, 1970.
Okay, so
Yeah, so anyone sending in questions, if you could send your birthday or your sun sign, your rising sign should work too.
what are you getting on that?
Relationships for Jason. Okay, so what I'm feeling is a little bit up and down, quite honestly. I feel like a quiet period of time for the first 5 to 6 months of this year. And then I feel like some energy might be coming in, meeting potential partners for you. And the way you might experience that is almost like I see like a puppy getting excited, thinking this looks good, this is something that I want. But I feel someone coming in who might have the potential to pull the rug out from under you and maybe cause a little bit of discord there. It feels like there's a lesson in this. And I feel like I'm supposed to say, don't be too quick to give your heart over. Don't be too quick to invest. Watch for how much the other person is putting in. And I almost want to say, be a little bit stingy, where however much they're putting in, that's how much you give back. Okay, and then I feel that clearing out. Something else coming in. It almost feels like 3 potential back and forths going on with a couple different people. And then I do feel you learning a couple lessons you're supposed to be learning, and more toward the end of the year and into 2019. It feels like then we're rolling 4 months into 2019. What are you getting?
Yeah, I was getting the same thing. I felt like there was like a friend or something in the first half of the year that like is maybe a little bit more, but it's not really developing into anything. It didn't feel like there was a whole lot going on there.
Right, all romantic.
Yeah, and then I think in July there's a solar eclipse, and that might actually spark something really kind of, it might maybe shake things up a bit for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, by the end of the year, I feel like he's going to get like almost December. I'm getting like November, December.
Yeah.
That he's going to be like more into a relationship and learning those lessons, and then ready almost to keep going and partner up.
That's what that looks like. And when you said November or December for him, I felt very nurturing. Almost like
December really is like ringing with me.
Like he's going to be able to give. I want to say this: you seem to have a lot to give, and it isn't always appreciated. Okay, so it will be refreshing for you to be with someone who's not just there to take, or they take from you and then they kind of toss it aside. Like Christmas socks under the tree. It feels like it would be more of an appreciation and a recognition, and this person wanting to also put back in. So don't harden yourself, but do balance it out and keep boundaries with it until that person comes along. So yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Debbie is a Sagittarius.
And what was her question?
Her question was, is there a new job for me in 2018?
Is there a new job for Debbie in 2018? She's a Sag. I feel like yes, if you take it. I'm sort of on a similar timeline with Jason here in his question, where I feel like I'm moving out into the 5th and the 6th month of the year. That's when it seems to be an open window of opportunity for you. I'm also supposed to warn you, though, that it feels a little bit like it's sitting there looking at you, and unless you're watching it and you go after it, it might not exactly just fall in your lap. What are you feeling with that?
I feel like money's going to be restricted for a little bit in the beginning, but I feel like maybe when we come to like the eclipse season, particularly in the summer, that might be when she is able to capitalize on a job with more money coming in. It could be unexpected money too with the solar eclipse. So she should watch for that, take any opportunities that come in.
When is that?
Like July-ish.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, very good. Do we want to start breaking down
Sure.
some of the signs? Okay, so again, if you guys want to text your questions in, Sue posted that, right? Okay, so you can do that. You can also post them in the comments. And are you taking any through Instagram? Are you watching that way? Okay.
Okay, so we have Aries. So if you're Aries or Aries rising, this is a really good time for Aries and Aries rising. There's a merging of resources with a partner. It could be a lot of Aries are going to get married this year, or Aries rising. There could be an engagement, moving in together, or possibly even a pregnancy. 2 eclipses in the house of romance could definitely bring surprises and drama into that area. Jupiter is highlighting money and benefits, almost like winning money. I mean, don't go betting the farm or anything like that. But you might just want to look into investing or what could be lucrative, because Jupiter is expansion, so it's expanding that area and bringing in luck in that area right now. Uranus, the planet of shakeup, is going into the second house, which might be might provide a new path of how they might earn money.
Okay.
So if you're an Aries or Aries rising, that might come into play. And Uranus is in the Saturn is in the 10th house of career. So this means that Saturn is our planet where you work, you do the work, and then you get the benefits later.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be really hustling. They're going to be working really hard, and it's going to seem very restrictive and really tiring. But it's going to be if you do the work now, the rewards will pay off later.
Okay. So Aries, was that pretty much it for Aries?
That was pretty much it.
Okay, so Aries in a nutshell then, a lot of hard work, potential career shifts,
and
high potential for marriage, merging your finances with a love partner.
Yeah, so if it's not marriage, it could be just putting your, moving in together, merging money together, somehow you're merging with other people, and this is a very good time for Aries or Aries rising to make investments. Or go after that scholarship or that money. Anything that has money related, that would be good to go after right now.
Okay.
But
awesome.
like I said, don't bet the farm. Right?
But don't bet the farm.
Okay. Yeah. So next up is Taurus.
Taurus.
So relationships are going to be a focus. Oh, aren't you thrilled? A lot of girls will be calling.
That's not you.
Right. So Jupiter's in the commitment part of the chart, in the 7th house, so that's really good. That's going to bring a lot of relationship, good luck, and good fortune, but it's also going to expand relationships. Saturn was there previously, so it might have been more restricted. So now it's going to be a little bit more nicer energy coming in for that. Let's see. So new partnerships are possible. Let's see. Yeah, and there could be a revamping of appearance.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know, new haircut, new maybe exercising more, something like that. But there could be a revamp, maybe making yourself a little different.
Okay.
2 eclipses are going to be in the career zone, so it can bring job changes, unexpected offers, or even a new path for some people. Some people might, Taurus might be because Uranus is going to go into your sign. Uranus is shakeup. So, and Uranus has to do with finances and building stability. So that's going to be major for them. So, I would say stay flexible. If the changes come, there's always a lesson behind it. So try to think of the bigger picture, not just for the moment.
I think that's huge. Whenever somebody's going through something, I try immediately to say, is this a planetary shift? Not am I being punished? Is something wrong? Am I having bad luck? Is it a planetary shift? And immediately you want to say, what are the lessons here?
Right.
What am I supposed to learn?
Right.
What am I supposed to be examining? Don't look at everything as, black or white or good or bad. It's just shift. Everything shifts. It's interesting you say this because I know a few Tauruses and all of them exactly like that. Changing the appearance, looking at changing the job. They've all been in these very restrictive relationships for the past few years. They've had someone who's kind of had a hook in them that's been holding them back, and they all got free in the last few months.
Yeah, and
that's fun.
That's going to continue. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll take a couple more calls or questions. I have one from 5235963. What does 2018 hold for me? But I don't have an astrological sign or birthday, so we could just kind of wing that one. And if they send it in, then they do. What are you feeling off of this person? The first thing that I'm feeling for you is some change in the first 3 months of the year. And I feel a little bit bumpy. I almost feel like a potential threat to either the schedule or what the company that you're working for might be saying that they have to offer. What's the company doing? I have you watching, but I actually feel it working out in your favor and stabilizing. So I see you increasing a little bit there. I have a few months of quiet after that, and then I have a lot of relationship activity coming in that feels to me like it's based on communication. And it's based on you figuring out how to communicate better with this particular person or this type of person. And then more toward the end of the year, I'm seeing a puppy. So I don't know if that's not something that you want or this is something that you want. But a puppy can also represent loyalty. And I want to say investment in the future. And I was feeling more like investment. Like, what am I going to do with my money? Do I want to put my money in property? What do I want to put it in? Mm-hmm. So these are all things that I'm seeing.
What's the name again?
I didn't actually get a name on this one. That's all I have is the phone number.
Okay. I would say keep your options open. As far as investing, like you said, consult somebody who's knowledgeable on the topic, but keep your options open and consider that.
Oh, I think actually, okay. I just got another one, so I don't know if this is the same person or not, but this one just said, I'm an Aries, what does 2018 bring for me?
Okay, we just kind of talked about that.
Yeah, we just talked about that a little bit, and okay, so this is coming from a 289 number. What I'm feeling with you is a headache. I feel like immediately, I feel like a stabbing pain in my head. I feel like you've had a lot of stress put on you. A lot of questions about why maybe things aren't lifting or moving as easily as they should be or as quickly as they should be. I feel like you're looking at a couple different outlets thinking that this should be more open than these paths actually are. And I feel them quickly opening up. I also feel travel opportunities coming up. I feel like I'm looking at mountains and I'm looking at valleys. So it seems like water. And so it seems like a lot of your work will be surrounding that also. Love seems to be in there and a little bit of mobility. It almost feels like where you might be working, workspace changing up a little bit. You feeling anything for this one?
It's interesting that you said about the travel though, because Saturn's moving out of the ninth, so I'm thinking that that's going to free up some of the travel. So I really do feel like that's a possibility with Aries. So definitely, and it almost seems like it's been very restrictive. And it might be restricted in the work area, but I think like other places are going to lift up a little bit. You know, like the restriction's not going to be there. So
well, and again, and this is what everybody needs to understand. You're talking about Saturn. Mm-hmm. Saturn is restriction. Doesn't mean you're not working really, really hard. It just means you're not feeling free. You're not getting all the benefits. It's almost like you're trapped under the boot. It nose to the grind, and that's what's shifting for Aries in a big way. So there you go, travel. Okay, things like that. Loosening up. We have some coming through over here.
Yes, we have Jacqueline is a Libra and she wants to know about her career path.
Jacqueline is a Libra. And then after this, we'll go on to the next two zodiac signs. So we'll take her and then we'll go on. She wants to know about her career path. Mm-hmm. Jacqueline.
Yes.
Okay. I'm feeling like still a lot of hard work needing to pay off. It feels like you haven't completely finished putting all of that hard work in. And I feel like you might disagree with that. But I'm supposed to say that a little bit further, we'll get it more recognized. So just keep plugging away. I feel one particular opportunity that's going to be a lot brighter than the other ones. So I feel like 3 options, but it feels like one specifically. The last one of the 3 will be the big opportunity for you where you would be able to sit still, take a breath, reap the benefits, be appreciated, and expand more. Through that one, I feel networking. Through the other 2, I don't feel so much. So I want to say be selective in where you go from here. And I keep hearing the eighth month, which is what, September? August.
Yeah.
Okay, where more of that will make some sense. What do you get
So
for
maybe
her?
that 8th month is the eclipse, perhaps, that we're talking about. Maybe that's what you're feeling. And it's supposed to be a good year for Libras with self-worth. Jupiter is going to be in the 2nd house, so getting more confident. So maybe, increasing money, how you earn a living. So if that good energy is coming, that's when you need to take advantage of that energy. So I feel like the middle of the year, you could start seeing career blessings.
Okay. Very good. And why don't we move on to talk about a couple more zodiac signs, what's going to be going on for you in 2018. We're going to go through the whole zodiac today and break it down. So we did Aries, we did Taurus. What's the next one?
Okay, so next we have Gemini.
Yay.
Okay, so Saturn's moved out of the opposite sign, which has challenged partnerships. And you can speak to this too, because not only are you Gemini, but you're Gemini rising.
Right.
It's going to help you with long-term attract exciting growth and long-term projects. Saturn went into your 8th, so it's the house of intimacy, teaching you tough lessons about what it takes to have a lasting relationship, facing fears and trust issues. And we won't comment on that. So there are also lessons on investments, real estate, passive income, and you could end up paying off some debt as well. So it'll work out to be to your benefit, I believe. You have to build for the future. That's what you're thinking about right now.
Okay.
Also, let's see, new opportunities, blessings in your day-to-day routines. That's where Jupiter is going to go in your day-to-day routine. Eclipse could bring a money opportunity in July. So, but you know what else too, which I thought this was interesting when I read this, when I was thinking about it, I was like, it says that for a while the social life has been kind of up and down, like friend-wise. Like you've had to get rid of a lot of people. And it's been going on for a while.
Yep.
Now it's supposed to stabilize a little bit for you because Uranus is moving into the 12th. So basically, like you've kind of found your tribe.
Yes.
And that tribe's going to stick with you now.
Yeah.
So that is going to settle down a bit for you. So you're going to have friends that you can rely on more, Geminis. So
that's nice. That's how I feel. I feel like in the last couple of years I attracted some very loyal, genuine people, and it was just a train wreck before that. But
so by the end of the year, your partnerships are going to look a lot better.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Interesting.
So.
Good.
Cancer. Next up is Cancer. Relationships are key for Cancer. There's going to be major growth in the area of love and relationships because Jupiter is moving into, actually Jupiter is in the 5th. So since Jupiter will be in your romance, it brings new attentions, new attractions. Long-term couples could be tested with Saturn in the 7th. So it's kind of interesting because they're getting all this attention, but it's Saturn's also up there restricting. So it's going to be interesting to see what lessons are going on.
Are you talking about like temptation?
Maybe.
Potentially, you can read into that. However, okay.
Yeah, it's possible. Uranus moves out of the career zone, so the professional path might stabilize a little bit more if it's been up and down. You might have a little bit more stability there. Technology in your career or business will be a focus and could allow you the freedom to work from anywhere. The 4 eclipses are going to happen for Cancer in their money houses, which will bring new opportunities to earn, invest, and benefit from emerging resources. So, exciting stuff for Cancers. Cancer risings. Unusual groups or technology would be sort of a focus for them.
That's interesting because I'm on a cusp. I'm June 22nd, so my sun is technically Cancer. It's Cancer, and that's something I've been focusing on with the work too.
Yes.
Expanding it out to all that technology right now.
Yes, you have.
Isn't that funny?
So,
it's almost like all of this starts just a little bit before, the actual dates surface.
It does. I often feel the energy
beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so that's 2 more signs down. Thank you. So we have another question here, and then I'm assuming we have some more here, so we'll kind of jump back and forth a little bit, but I'll take this one right now. I have a 585 number. She says, I'm wondering if my guides can tell me what to expect in the next 6 months. She is a Gemini, June 10th. Okay, the next 6 months, let's see. I feel quiet for the first 3, and then I feel louder for the last 3. Are you sensing
I
that?
was kind of getting definitely like you said, quiet for the first 2, but I feel like everything's all over the place all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to multitask and figure it out. Has different projects going on, and has to discern which is going to be profitable and which is not. Which she should put her energy into and which she shouldn't.
What I'm hearing from your work guide is multitasking is key. Multitasking, not in a frantic, discombobulated, disorganized way. In a focused, serene, grounded, intuitive type of a way, so that you're eliminating the things that
you shouldn't put your energy into.
There you go.
Yeah, like you should meditate on what is important
as you go along and constantly and beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So you can relax for a few months and then bam, it all hits. And it's really going to be a lot of lessons about you following your gut and doing what you need to do and not wasting your energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, do that right and it feels good. It feels profitable. Okay, good. You have one coming in over here?
Yeah, I have one from Corey. His birthday is 5/11. And he says he's going through a spiritual awakening to a higher power and wants to know, will there be a travel pilgrimage this year or will it be more of an inner journey?
That was a lot. What's this person's name?
Corey.
Corey? Will there be a pilgrimage and a whole thing and a... Okay. I'll just tell you what I'm feeling. What I'm feeling with you is a lot of studying. I keep seeing your face in a book, which is either you're going to have your face in a lot of books, or it can also be symbolic of you educating, you training yourself, you expanding your mind, your horizons. I don't really feel you moving when you're doing that. The book itself is sort of more about your mind. So that does all seem to be there, although I do feel one trip. I feel like one excursion outward, and I feel it being unconventional.
Mm-hmm. But educational almost.
Oh, for sure.
Like learning, like the whole time. Mm-hmm. I also feel like Saturn's in the 9th, so that would be education.
Oh.
So it would be a commitment to education. And it's also the sign of travel, which it means like he's not going on a bunch of trips, but if he goes on a trip, it's going to be for learning
Everything.
and purposeful.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very meaningful and probably last a lifetime of lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely.
This is why we work well together, because what I predict, she can confirm with the planets, and that's been nuts for years. We've been doing this. So yeah, absolutely, and it seems like what he gets out of that, or Corey, what you get out of that, you're able to use it for a long time. So I want to say absorb everything and take it. It's going to give you material, long-term material in your life. Yeah.
Very karmic.
Ah, very good. Okay, so yeah, a lot going on there. But yeah, I'm feeling the next 4 years with you actually sort of branching out from this. And relationship stuff also getting really, really good with you. Okay, but give it like a year for all of this to work out, and then that'll pick up too. Do we have another one coming from here?
Yes, we have a Missy.
Okay.
She's a Taurus, and she's hoping for new growth in her career and stability and security in her relationship. Are you seeing anything?
Growth in the career, yes. Because you've done the work. Enough hard work under your belt. That's coming. The relationship, I would need the name, but I am seeing someone that I feel maybe you've already been talking to or is already around in your energy. And what I'm feeling with this person is a little bit of instability. They seem to really be there and kind of be invested and then sort of be gone, disappear. You're sort of reaching out or chasing after this person, trying to pull them back in. You're trying to get something out of this person that you thought you had invested in, and it should be easier for them to give that to you. So I feel restriction there, and I feel like you may need to do a bit of an analysis on what it is that you really want, what you really deserve, and how much tolerance you're going to have, where that boundary line is. So that's a little bit more complicated than the work stuff? What are you getting?
I feel like she's going to have a couple options, so she shouldn't waste it on this one person. You know what
That's a
I
good
mean?
way to
Like
say
she
it.
should really look at her other options too, because if Jupiter moves into her relationship house, I feel like she's gonna have a few options, and she might not want to put her energy in that relationship you're talking about. There's other people. She might want to just make sure that, you know, she's looking at everything before she decides to put her energy where it's not gonna prosper.
That's a real good way to say it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, sister. Okay, for sure, because you got enough to work with that you don't have to settle.
Right.
Okay, good. I'll take one more from here, and then we have so many coming in. We're never going to get to all these today, but I'll take one more from my text, and then we're going to get to 2 more astrological signs. So what do we have coming up?
Okay, Leo and Virgo.
Leo and Virgo, we're going to break down next. So the next question I have coming in here is from a 732 area code. I'm a Capricorn. January 1st is my birthday. Oh, happy birthday! I'd love to hear what the year holds for me. Thanks for doing this. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let's see what we're getting. I'm feeling a lot of busyness right away. I thought I was going to go and kind of be able to like maybe take a nap or kind of rest a little bit, and I'm like, never mind, I'm awake. I'm not sleeping this year. So I feel a lot of activity going on with you straight away. February seems pretty big, and then I'm hearing March, like the 3rd week of March, and I feel like I'm looking at work and money opportunities coming in. I'm supposed to tell you from a grandmother who feels like there's mention of dad's side of the family too, but I'm just supposed to say grandmother coming in, talking to, may have passed from smoking or a cancerous condition, talking about keep your ears open and your eyes wide. So some of the opportunities that are going to be coming to you might not be even things that you were looking for, or you might think, everything's going pretty well. I'm good, and then here they come. So there's more. You'll get more than what you even thought you were going to be getting.
I love that I love that you can do astrology without knowing astrology.
Without knowing astrology.
So funny. Yeah, like I think that like there's going to be surprises for Capricorns. You know, they're definitely possible in the area of like romance, even children, things like that. So there's, like you said, they might think one thing and they might get even more than they bargained for. It's time to work on the body, work on the self. You know, do the hard work. And then they're going to be a little bit more restrained. They're going to be a little bit more in their head and maybe like deep stuff, like kind of getting rid of baggage, that kind of stuff. Focusing on the self.
It's good. Very good. That's a good place to be. Okay. So we want to talk about, you guys keep sending your questions, we'll get to as many as we can. We want to talk about, what did we say, Leo?
Leo, I am a Leo, so I'm very familiar. So we had 2 eclipses last year in our sign, which, you know, definitely shook our foundations. So we have 2 more this year, then we'll be free of eclipses. Thank you. So basically our identities and goals are getting an overhaul. Home life focus, there could be a possible move for some Leos out there. This is the 2nd year of eclipses in our sign, both January and August. It could put you on a completely different path if you're a Leo. Relationships are changing and shifting, along with personal transformations that will change your approach to partnerships. There could be surprising events. There could be a quick ending of a relationship, or you could go and get married and tie the knot. So it could be one or the other, but it could be something that changes everything up.
Okay.
Jupiter is in your romance zone, so passion and romance will be a focus. So let's see. So for some Leos, and this is already sort of happened for me, but Uranus will move into the 10th. So this could very much shake up your career, your whatever, you know, your status. This could be a total shake up. Like, okay, you thought you were going to do this, but now you're going to do this.
This is you.
Yeah, right.
This started early for you.
It started early for me, exactly. So, wonderful, right? Saturn in the 6th is demanding. And I'm feeling this now, we're going to be working hard for about 3 years to set up solid foundations. So we must do the work and not get lazy if we want to reap the benefits later. One thing with Saturn too, you have to be honest. You have to always do the right things. Make sure that you're, being honest and you're doing the right thing.
Because it's karmic.
It is.
And during restriction, I think people panic.
Yeah. And so many people could just, do the dishonest thing and it comes back to bite you. So
that's
you
right.
always got to make sure that you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
Technology could be a focus in the career. The eclipses could throw a spotlight on you, so you could be in the spotlight suddenly. So be prepared for that. Stay flexible. You could explore very unusual and different career paths because Uranus is, that's unusual. So in technology, the occult, like we talked about, and that's going to go into the 10th. So if you're thinking of going in those areas, it's probably very prosperous for you. The eclipses, the themes on the eclipses is the balance of me versus we. So how much are you the individual and how much are you a partner? So it's going to be that's going to be sort of the theme around the eclipses for Leos.
With all of your partnerships. Okay.
Yeah, because it could be business partnerships, romantic partnerships,
interesting.
Friendship partnership,
It's a lot of relationship stuff for Leo.
Yes.
In career advancement.
Big year for Leos.
Okay. Big year for Leos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Virgos. So Jupiter in the 3rd house is a good time to get out, mix and mingle. So this is like networking.
Okay.
Don't hide away anymore. Keep things light. Not a huge year for romance for Virgos. I'm sorry, Virgos. I know all the Virgos are like, when? Not a huge year, but it's not a total loss. Couples can get involved in the community together, work on a hobby together. So if you are looking to meet somebody, the best place would be like at a meetup group or some kind of hobby. If you want to, somebody with similar interests or like take a little class or something. That's going to be like your best bet for meeting people. Travel and short trips could be a focus for Virgo. Saturn in the 5th house could have you working on a creative hobby or talent, so it could bring you money in the future. So if you're serious about, I've been dabbling in this, dabbling in that, if you put some energy there, it might, benefit you financially. So you can think about that. But also when Saturn's in your 5th, and I just had this, it restricts your fun and your romance. So it seems like it's a drag, but it's actually for you to do work so that you can benefit later. Working with a mentor could benefit you now, so if a mentor comes into your life, welcome that. And this is the time now to write, speak, or teach using media or the internet.
Is it just a big technology year?
Kind
What
of.
is going on?
Yeah,
I mean,
technology it has
technology,
crazy,
so yeah, all right.
But Uranus switching signs, that just kind of goes with it.
So Virgo, basically this year, working.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Okay. All right, very good. So we got Leo, we have Virgo done, and then what are the next two coming up?
Next two would be Libra and Scorpio.
Libra and Scorpio coming up. We're going to talk about next, but we're going to take some questions. You have one here?
Yes, I have one from Daniela. She's a Capricorn and she's a business owner, and she wants to know basically whether or not she should stick with it or try something else.
I feel like it's up to you. That's not probably the answer, that you want to hear when you're looking for guidance, but it feels to me like there are lessons that you're supposed to be learning here that you could almost achieve one way or another. And my interpretation of what I'm seeing here from your work guide is that there's still some unfinished business here with this particular line of work. I feel like there are some stones that have been left unturned, and if you were to maybe get out of this now, you would just have to relearn it again. So I don't feel 100% like you're not going to get out of these lessons regardless. So you could stay where you are. However, after you do this, and there's an investment of like 4 to 7 months in you doing this, if you have flipped every stone and you've done everything you're supposed to, I feel like you might decide to actually keep it, or you would have a really very clear-cut understanding of what it is that you want to be doing. And right now, I don't feel like that's really there. I feel like you're tired.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be like a different spin on it, or like specializing or something. Like there needs to be like a narrower focus, and coming into focus with that might give her like more I don't know, like excitement, and might like kind of like push her a little bit more, and it would kind of like make her a little bit more unique. And then because Capricorn's going to be working hard this year, and she has to make sure that that's the right thing to, to work on.
Right.
So I don't know, like I just feel like maybe they like keep the same area but a different spin on it, maybe like, or a little more specialization, just tweak it a little bit.
It's not feeling like it's stirring her in any way. It's not feeling like it's really doing a whole heck of a lot.
Right. Like I feel like she needs to somehow maybe use what the skills she has, but tweak it into something that is going to inspire her.
So what else can you do with it? That's basically the question, before you decide to move on. How can you transform it? Okay, good. We have one coming in here from a 903 number. Hi, what changes do you see for me this year? I'm a Scorpio. Okay. I'm feeling a heavy energy with you a lot of the time. I almost want to say I feel a heavy energy, almost depression, and I can't prescribe a diagnose, but it seems to be something you sometimes allow to invade a perspective of what's going on out there in the world. Okay, so I want to say a little bit more self-examination is going to be needed this year, because you have a way of looking at circumstances in the world and other people and putting a label on it as maybe being negative or causing you to feel that way, when in actuality it's your perspective. So there are some inward changes. I want to say positivity, law of attraction, manifestation, just positive thinking, staying centered, being in control of your emotions, not letting them control you, handling your emotions with logic. It seems almost like it goes that way until the last 3 months of the year. And then when I feel like you've gotten a lot of this under your belt, around like the 9th month or so, it seems like all of a sudden things start to spark and get moving and rolling. And opportunities seem to be there that you could just sort of grab up and just jump on board with.
Once again, she knows astrology without
There we
knowing
go.
it. Yeah, for Scorpios, they've had if they've had a rough time, it's going to start lifting for them. So they need to open up themselves to new opportunities, both in love and work.
Okay.
So, after some challenges, it finally starts to be freeing up again and more positive and all those things that you said.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the next question. I want to say this one too. Okay, coming from a 578 Deb, also a Scorpio. 10/26 is her birthday. What does the year hold for me? Okay, and then she said thank you on that. So there you go. I mean, Christina gave you somewhat of a perspective on that. What I'm feeling with you though, Deb, is really quick, close in the beginning of the year, a lot of heart, a lot of relationship stuff, a lot of communication, it feels like. And I want to say you finding resolution to areas that maybe aren't completely fulfilling for you. You getting more of what you need, possibly, from a partner or from other people. So that too needs to be sort of put under, okay, you could put that to the past and say, okay, I've checked that off my list. I have a lady coming through who makes me feel like maternal side of the family, watching over you as a mother would, making sure that you're also taking better care of yourself. Okay, not so focused. I feel like you always have an excuse for why you shouldn't do something for yourself. Taking care of someone else, I feel like those days are done. Okay, so a little bit of push there. Are you getting anything else for her?
Yeah, just that I feel like things are going to get much better, but probably the first half of the year is going to still seem a little bit hard, and then like it's going to kind of loosen up for her. It seems like there's going to be opportunities in the relationship, just more luck and nice energy there. So
Good. Okay, I want to make a couple quick announcements before we get through the rest of these zodiac signs because we are going to run out. If you want to book a reading with me, because we're done with questions, you can find me at IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. If you're interested in classes, IvyLeaguePsychicAcademy.com. And where can they reach you if they want to book for a chart or a reading?
I'm Christina Del Rey on Facebook, and my phone number is 716-949-3922, a text, and I'll answer.
And we'll post all of that down in the comments. Okay, so it's a little bit easier. We have Christina coming in, teaching the Art of Tarot class coming up February 1st. So quick.
Yes.
Thursdays. Okay, so check that out. She's amazing. She will train you in the traditional method of the cards, but also the intuitive method. So it's not going to inhibit you. A lot of tarot readers get stuck using the tool. They can't maximize and move on to mediumship, but the way that she trains you, it opens you up to be able to do even more and move on to mediumship. So we also have Astrology Basics coming up with her. That's going to be July 3rd, okay, to July 31st. So register for those on the Ivy League Psychic Academy website. We want to get through the rest of these astrology signs. So what are we on to?
We're on to Libra.
Yes.
So Jupiter is going to be in the second house of self-worth, giving them more confidence this year. This will also increase money earned from how you make a living. So, take advantage of that energy while it's there. Toward the middle of the year, the career could see blessings and good fortune, especially around the solar eclipse in July. And we could see you could get into a stable romance or just work on stabilizing current relationships. You could explore new, deeper ways to connect both spiritually and sexually. So, sounds exciting.
Sounds fun. Good for you.
Right. Scorpio. Jupiter in Scorpio since 2000. It hasn't been in Scorpio since 2006. So it's a fresh 12-year cycle. You're going to open yourself to new opportunities, both in love and work. After some challenges, Scorpios have had a bit of a challenging couple years. You're finally starting to love your life again. Existing partnerships might go through some big changes. Single Scorpios could choose someone way different than they usually would choose, an unusual type, because Uranus is going to go into that committed partnership zone. So there could be a rush in and a rush out of relationships. You can expect the unexpected with that. Drama, picture drama. 2 eclipses in your career sector could bring exciting opportunities that are unexpected. Financial burdens are lifted a little bit, so that's good to know. And you'll benefit financially if the hard work is done, but you have to follow the rules. You have to do it. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Uranus is moving out of the 5th house. So there was a lot of drama with Sagittarius and their relationships. So the drama might be tapering off a bit about mid-May when Uranus moves in there. You could fall in love hard this year with someone who seems dreamy. There is an eclipse in July that will lead them to change in intimacy. A change in intimacy could be a commitment or a breakup. It's kind of a wild card. They'll be feeling that energy. Money matters. It's time to build security. Saturn in the financial sector makes you restrict budget money. However, it'll pay off in the long run. So just have the big picture in mind. In July, you can decide to enter into a joint venture or money venture. Unexpected money could come in with the solar eclipse, so that's always positive. We are looking at Capricorn. Capricorn, Saturn arrives in Capricorn. It arrived in December, or actually it arrived recently. It's time to figure out where you need to do the hard work and where you need to purge what is not in alignment with your values and truth. So you'll forever be changed by this. Surprise romances or pregnancies for Capricorn and Cap risings are definitely possible with Uranus in your 5th, or a spark might reunite, start a new chapter. Goals are extra serious. You want to continue working towards building your empire. Saturn's all about building. It will help you become a recognized expert in your field. Collaborations, partnerships, or investments could bring abundance. So networking is going to be important there. But career is looking very awesome and empowering. Getting in shape, like the body, that'll be a priority. Yeah, it looks like a good year though.
Good year for cats.
Yeah. There's changes, definitely changes.
Mhm.
So,
And we have two more. What is that? Aquarius and Pisces?
Aquarius.
Okay.
Yep. And so, want me to keep going?
Oh yeah, keep going.
Aquarius, 2 eclipses in their sign this year is a major shakeup. Could lead people to look at you differently. So use the energy wisely so that you'll benefit from your career and in your reputation. Juggling obligations might be a focus this year. Travel or promotion could be a possibility right now. Love and relationships are changing this year. There might be a split if things are headed that way, or there might be a commitment. The focus is on identity and partnerships, and we kind of talked about that.
Aquariuses are coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, yeah. So meditation and reflection is going to be important for them. Neptune, they want to set money aside, so for unpredictable finances, because that could be something. Neptune's in the 9th, so it could just be a little bit of they can't see their money situation, might be a little cloudy. Pisces. So Pisces, you need plenty of freedom and space in your relationships this year. You might feel the need to explore the world as in travel. The solar eclipse in July in your romance house could shake things up a bit. Be careful of fertile energy there. So, if you want that, that's good. But if you don't, take precautions.
Was that fertile energy?
Fertile energy there, yeah. Yeah. And new possibilities in your career sector will bring you more luck and success. Uranus is going to leave the financial zone, which allows a little more stability in the area of money. That's pretty much it for the year, and hopefully everybody, embraces the positive and sees the bigger picture on the lessons. And Pluto is still in Capricorn, so Capricorns are going to see some, still going through changes, and Saturn's in there now. But hopefully you look at the big picture and benefit and go toward your prosperity for 2018.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, this is huge. I know there were some really big planetary shifts too, with Cancer and stuff like that, especially in the area of love that haven't been there in 12 years or something like that. There's so much more to know. We can't obviously get to it all. Tonight, these are the basics, 2018. This is what everybody has to look forward to. Pay attention to those eclipses and things like that. I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting a chart done with Christina Del Rey. Again, we're going to post in the comments where you can do that, probably up above, how to contact her, and you can always, bounce it off of me first to see, because I seem to know where things are, but we work together great as a team here. We can give you some real solid direction on where to go. But again, breaking it down, lessons. What is it really all about? The bigger picture, okay? So get out of your head, pay attention, try not to look at things as black and white, good and bad, but energy.
Yeah, energy. The only thing constant is change, and each time something changes is another layer. It's another lesson that you're supposed to integrate. So
that's right.
We don't always like that, but that's the truth.
That's the truth. Yep. And I had her do a work chart for me too, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. I have everything marked in my calendar, all of my prosperity points throughout the year, and I've been maximizing, and it's really great. Okay, everybody, check it out. Again, thank you for being here. We'll have her on again in a few weeks we'll be doing a full tarot show. So she'll be flipping cards for you, and then I'll be doing psychic mediumship. In the meantime, the next show that we have coming up, we're going to be talking about empathic ability. Children, especially in the school system, when they're being affected by it, distraction, ADD, a lot of emotion, breakdowns, things like this. And we're going to have a couple teachers up here on the show who are going to be talking about using the techniques that they learned at the Empathic Means lecture that I have here, and how that's maximize prosperity in their classrooms, and they've gotten energy under control. So they've been able to help these children as well as themselves, okay, as teachers. So that's going to be an interesting show too. So we'll see you here in a couple weeks. Thank you, Christina, for coming on. Thank you to the viewers. Take care of each other.